Hello, everyone. It's CJ Cullen here, and we are at the Point Lookout Film Festival. We got a bunch of interviews today to go through, and starting off, we have Lauren Murtha for the movie Oh Boy.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Yeah, so you know that you've had other films in the past at Point Lookout, as well as other festivals around the area, and now Oh Boy is making its rounds. It's been going on for a little while now, right?
Yeah, well, it feels really weird this year because everything's got kind of pushed.
Yeah.
So things that you were planning on doing in April, it's now going to be, it's November and whatnot. So it feels a little more distant from when we shot, but it's still kind of exciting to have everything going the best we can do it now.
There were some people that I talked to at other festivals. They said, your film's still going around? I forgot, wait, it was shut down for 6 months.
Well, that's exactly right. It feels like you get confused. Like, wait a minute, we're still showing Oh Boy. Like, oh, well, that's right, because nothing happened all summer and spring.
Well, you got other ones that are they finished or on the horizon, or are they editing, or you're not filming yet?
Well, that's what's confusing because we've already shot the follow-up to Oh Boy. My cinematographer and producing partner, Zach Crone, who's also in the movie, has already edited the next one. So it feels, I have to remind myself that I'm talking about Oh Boy and not Don't Jump.
So did you release that one yet out to festivals, or are you waiting until maybe they open up?
Well, I was it's very recently ready. So I did submit it to a couple, but it is, I'm kind of waiting because it seems to just a big cloud of question marks over the whole festival circuit. So I was waiting a bit, and I did submit to some other ones, but they're not until I submit to Hang On to Your Shorts.
Oh yeah, we're hoping that's going to happen. April.
Yeah, let's hope.
Absolutely. So, talk a little bit about Oh Boy, how you got that started. Now, this was this isn't the first, or is this the first one of the series that you're making, or because you did other ones, are they counted in the series?
Yeah, this Oh Boy is really the second one. My lovely partner, Laura Peterson, plays the character of Patricia, who is my character's wife. The first film was My Hero, and the second one is Oh Boy. It's basically a modern married couple. In this one, this is the second of a series, but you don't need, they're all independent. So if you look at the first one, and it doesn't make any difference. They're designed to be enjoyed individually. But there's a lot of Easter eggs and sort of inside baseball. If you have seen previous ones, there's a lot of sort of inside jokes and references. But this is basically about a modern couple who have sort of sworn off kids, and they find themselves having to babysit the child of their friends because they were called out of town on an emergency. And then that sort of gets them rethinking some of their life decisions, and they have do a little thinking as to whether or not kids may or may not be in their own future. It's a light comedy. It's a nice, easy watch.
And so does that story continue throughout, or do you do different kinds of storylines, or it's still focused on kids, not kids, throughout the whole series?
It's a self-contained story. So after Oh Boy,
moves on just with the same characters, but just moves on with
same characters. And what we're doing, which is kind of fun, is we're expanding the universe. In My Hero, it was really just Laura and myself. In Oh Boy, it's Laura and myself. We're sort of the central characters through which the story is told. But we now have introduced Miranda Stevens and Rob Brock as their friends, Rita and Gary. And the universe is growing with the same characters. So they have a more prominent role in the follow-up, Don't Jump. And I get to include Zach Crone in Don't Jump as well with his own character. So I'm sort of trying to expand things, but keep everybody in it once I introduce them. How
is he behind the camera and in front of the camera?
Well, I'll tell you what, I would be lost without Zach.
Yeah.
He and I'm the director, but he is he's incredibly helpful, and he'll have some amazing suggestions. He's kind of almost like a co-director, but I'm too much of an egomaniac to call him that, I guess. But so we have a great working relationship and partnership like that. But if I did not have him, I would be in trouble because you get lost in the performance, and you're not paying attention to Linda came in from this side, or whatever sort of directorial things you would need to have continuity and things make sense and whatnot.
And where do you usually film this? In not in the city, or like closer to upstate New York, or like the Westchester area? Is that where you film, or?
It sort of depends. We have done exteriors in Manhattan. We shot in like Lincoln Center and stuff like that. The inside, I have been lucky enough to cheat Todd and Patricia's house between my brother's house. That's where the dining room is and the bedroom. And the living room is at another friend's house named Lou Henry. So we've sort of, their house is a hybrid of two houses in Westchester County.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, but it's sort of all over the place, and I have to do some figuring out for the next one, because locations are always fun to find.
Yeah, have you ever thought of something like going somewhere like on a vacation short, and they go to like Niagara Falls or something?
Oh, listen, let me tell you something. I'm a very firm believer in. I've always wanted to go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
let's play the screenplay. It takes place in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Laura, Zach, and I went to Florida. We went to Fort Lauderdale for a different festival for My Hero a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we started to steal footage there. Like you kind of try to take advantage of the situations when they present themselves. But yes, that's a fantastic idea. I think we'll do one on a cruise ship or something like that.
Yeah. That's what Michael Caine used to always say. He said he used to just pick scripts on like vacation spots. And that's why he did Jaws 4
too. Like The Revenant, like Leo DiCaprio in the middle of like some Arctic snowstorm.
Yeah.
Would rather be on a beach like with Michael Caine and like blame it on Rio or whatever you did down there.
Yeah. It was just always like that story that he said of it. That's why I did Jaws 4, because it was on an island.
It's as good a reason as any. Why not?
So anything else you want to talk about Oh Boy? That how was the production for it? Behind the scenes, getting ready, editing.
I'll tell you, with the editing stuff, that's really all Zach. He is. I go through it with him, but he's the guy with the editing. It was a pretty easy shoot. We did have one day for technical reasons that we had to reshoot, but I know everybody on that set is really a friend first and a performer second. So it's very comfortable and very easy. I worked with Rob. I've known Rob Rock since like 2001.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And we've done a bunch of productions together. Miranda and I have worked together on previous stuff, and Zach and Laura and I have been together for the past few years. So very comfortable, very little drama, which I'll take, because I've been on some sets where there's a lot of drama and it's not that fun.
Now, we were talking earlier about filming during COVID. How is that going for you? I know you're doing some acting, and
I am. Acting's just sort of picking up. Things are starting to roll now, and the precautions. I mean, it's crazy. I was telling you, I had to do, I think, 4 COVID tests for one job. So they're taking it very seriously. Masks on, shields on. It's nuts. I haven't actually filmed anything myself during COVID yet. So kind of seeing how we're going to work that. I have another script to go, but Miranda is in North Carolina. Another actress, Erica, who's in Don't Jump, is she was in New Orleans. I'm not sure if she's back yet. So there's a lot of figuring things out now, but you have to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And
for like a SAG, like if you did a SAG short, would you have to have someone on set, or did they do it via something, or you just have to go through the checklist?
I'm sure there is a checklist. I know on sets they do have COVID compliance officers.
What about like a film that it's like a couple $1,000s?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because I haven't actually
done that yet.
Because I have another one good to go, but I haven't done the paperwork yet. I would imagine, though, knowing SAG, they probably do have
someone that comes on.
I don't know if they're going to make you have somebody there, but there probably has to be a checklist or something in place, because they seem to be going above and beyond to make sure people stay safe and are careful. So
well, the big productions.
I'd like to start shooting something very, very soon. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know the big productions in New York City, or the shows that they do. They had to, sit for 2 weeks before they were on set and things like that. Or
a lot of people are also, they'll book you for 3 days of work, but they're going to hold you for like 14, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that yeah, you get paid for that. But I guess if you want other gigs, I guess you just got to stick with the one gig, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying. They're saying we're paying you, so you can't take anything else.
Take other things, yeah.
Which, in one hand, is great, and in another hand, can limit you. But
yeah, but I guess we're all limited right now anyway, so you might as well. It's like I got a job, let's do it.
Ain't that the truth, man? March 16th, everything shut down for me, so I'll take work where I can get it.
Well, anything you want to promote out there before we head off here and go on to the next?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll say check out Oh Boy. Come to the festival. Keep your eye out for Don't Jump, which will be coming one of these days. And Zach, buytheglasspictures.com. You can check out all of Zach's wonderful work. LauraPeterson.com. And I don't know about Rob and Miranda, but everybody's on Instagram if you want to find it. They're all worth following.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to the festival, man. It's going to be great.
All right. So we're here with Drew Henriksen, and you have a film as well as a script in the festival, Point Lookout Film Festival. Unfortunately, we can't be in Point Lookout, so we're online, and we decided let's interview as many people as we can, rapid fire. So we got a few minutes with you, Drew.
Oh, thank you.
So can you talk a little bit about your film, The Power Prayer? I've seen it a few times at some festivals and stuff. It's really well done. But how did you come up with the idea for writing it in the first place?
I'm a fan of the old TV westerns, but it was always like sort of slighted. You know, it always has portrayed, like the land barons as being, the bad guys. Always the bad guys.
Yeah.
But what about if the people trespassing on their property are really the bad guys? And also, too, is like, it's always the same. It's like, oh, just have faith on, what is really good, what is really. But unless you look deeply into what's really going on, how do you know what's the right side you're fighting for?
Yeah. So, and then you made it nice, like old time type of a movie too. So that's pretty cool. You don't see that too often, especially in the short films, because it's not easy to make, right? It's not easy to do it.
Oh, no, it's not. And I credit Andrew Enriquez. Andrew Enriquez did practically everything. He was my director, the cinematographer. I mean, and people don't even realize the special effects that was there. All the animals in the background, like the chickens and the goats, that was all CGI.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't even tell, which is great, because usually I'm like, I can tell that's fake. No, you can't tell. So.
And even like at one point, the night scene at the campfire, the horse in the background, Andrew put that in CGI, and my fault, I forgot to like include that in the cover letter, so nobody realizes it, and I don't think he got the credit that he deserved for that CGI.
Yeah, I actually worked with a horse once in a film. Someone said, "Oh, we have a horse." I'm like, "Well, we have to use the horse, a real horse." Well, it was not fun.
Well, we had Tony Simonetti, who was the horse trainer, and we had some trouble with one of the horses where it got spooked, and Tony literally jumped into action and grabbed the harness on the horse, so it didn't do any damage. So big thanks to Tony Simonetti also.
Yeah, it's not easy to deal with horses and stuff like that. So that's another tough thing to do there. You see all these westerns and people look like they know what they're doing, but not, it's not easy.
No, it was a lot of training just to get us to look like we know what we were doing.
Especially today, there's not too many westerns or people or movies with horses anymore. It's like bring them back again, because I was teaching my class the other day, like westerns were big way back when, and like John Wayne, and then they came back again with like Unforgiven and all that time, and Young Guns, and then they're disappeared again. So where's the westerns again?
I'm hoping I'm working on a feature film with Andre Joseph to bring westerns back. And come on now, what other genre can you carry a gun, guzzle beers, hook up with saloon girls, and you're still the good guy?
I know, right? And they're always good too. You're always like, I don't know, and then you start watching it and you can't stop watching those type of films. So
nope. I would love to make a web series of this. I just don't have the money to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's another thing that this probably cost a lot of money too, right?
It did. I was lucky though, because Tony Simonetti cut me a big deal on the horses, and basically he did it because he's a very good friend of mine. Andrew Enriquez, was very, very, very reasonable with it. The biggest expense was the food.
Well, yeah. Got to feed everybody.
Oh yeah.
How many days was it to shoot?
It was 4 days. It was 3 days in Connecticut River State Park.
Wow.
And then we had one overnight shoot. Luckily, Andrew Enriquez, his backyard is in the Pine Barrens.
Wow.
So we did an overnight in the Pine Barrens, literally just feet from his backyard.
Wow. That's the best when you people you're working with. Like, I got this huge backyard here. We could film in the woods or anything. That's the best part when you get that. So that's pretty cool. So, and what about your script there? How'd you come up with that idea?
The script idea came up from Anthony Mangano. Anthony Mangano had this idea for a Christmas Story of like a 1970s, 1980s gangster who's not really that bad of a guy, and he gets killed saving a child from a hit and run. And then he goes up to heaven, and then he gets sent back down to earth to help out a fireman who's not having a good time around the holidays. He just lost his wife. But it's a comedy in the old style of like a Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis style. So he gave me this idea, and then I just came up with everything else and threw it in, with Anthony's ideas getting thrown in. And it's getting a lot of notice. We won Garden State Film Festival. We won Long Island. We won Die Laughing in LA and a couple of others. So fingers are crossed. We have some people interested in it.
Yeah.
Nick Villanaga from Green Book likes it. So we shall see.
That's the best. You get it out there in festivals and it's winning. So people start looking at it like, oh, we got to make this. And you don't see that either. So you don't see those type of films anymore either. So
no, that's one thing I like about both projects. It's back to old school. And Anthony Mangano, if you ever meet him, he's like this classy, suave guy, the opposite of me. Like he's the suave, debonair, like Dean Martin type, and people miss those type of movies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to go back and see that, or like the old shows that Dean Martin used to host and all those. Those are all so much fun.
And it's funny. And it's funny.
Yeah, funny. Like really funny and like clean comedy. Because nowadays, they went through a phase where like comedians were not clean.
Yeah.
And now they offend everybody. So it's not
funny is funny.
Yeah.
It's
so and it's hard to write comedy too. So you got the Christmas
most
holiday.
Laugh at my work, so I consider myself a comic.
There you go. Yeah. So, but so that that's cool that's going on, and hopefully that someone will pick that up and make it. That'd be great. I think we need more films like that.
It's my retirement plan.
Yeah. So it's right now it's kind of hard with all this going on. I guess you've been involved. Have you done a lot of internet festivals because of this?
Yeah. Everything has been online.
Yeah.
And I miss the traveling. Like I loved traveling to Austin. I love traveling to LA.
Yeah.
To Phoenix and to Tucson. I've been to them. My bank account likes the fact that I'm not flying.
I know, right? I'm like, I'm saving, but I'm not going places.
I won one film festival and I got to celebrate with like my FICA plan. My FICA plan here. We had a grand old time.
Yeah, so it's hopefully they're gonna start. I actually went to one the other day that was outside at a baseball field on a jumbotron. So
wow.
It was different. It was weird, but everyone was socially distant, so no one was really talking to each other. So that was weird. But it's getting there.
But I miss hanging out with you guys and stuff like that at the bar, and taking the train.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get going on that and things will start opening up. We'll see. But hopefully soon, hopefully sooner than later. But everything seems to be getting pushed more and more and more and more. So it's not, what are you going to do? But
Exactly.
yeah, so we decided, I guess, we really wanted to have this in Point Lookout because we love going there. And we were so like, oh, it's going to be gone by then. We'll be fine. And obviously that didn't happen. So we just hope that the following year, we're actually going to have the next one is in April. So hopefully we get to do that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love for you guys to like come out to Patchogue one of these times. I mean, we have, some great places out here too. And
yeah.
Don't have one, just have a few drinks with us.
yeah, definitely. So hopefully we get to do that because I'm itching to go places again. So it's been too long. But is there anything that you would like to promote out there? Any websites or anything you have? Any social media?
It's just my Facebook page. My Facebook page too. Like I have links to my novels. I've had a trilogy of novels out for a couple of years now. Dragons and Wolves, The Dragon and the Detective, and Dragons and Science. If you want to look that up, my dream in life is to have a television series based on my novels.
Oh wow!
And Brooklyn Christmas. And I have a couple of other shorts. My short Smokes that is getting good reviews, and I wrote a short with a stuntman and police officer, Mike Jones. I wrote a short called Afternoon, which is sort of a serious look on PTSD. And fingers crossed with that, if it wins Holly Shorts, we can get the funding to film it.
Oh wow, yeah. So you got into that with that? You got into Holly Shorts? Wow, great.
Finals with it.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I should enter it into you guys too.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like we just never stop because everything's smushed together now. So it just goes from one to the next. No more breaks. But well, anyway, thanks for coming on for a few minutes here, and I got to move on to the next one. So. Okay, we're here with Philip Schneider, and you had the film The Eraser that will be playing at Point Lookout Film Festival this year. We've had you in, I think every season so far you've had a film in. So
this is the third one.
Yeah. Third time around, right? So, and we really wanted to have it at the place this year. We're like, oh, we'll be fine, and we'll move it to November. We'll be fine. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Nothing seems to be happening the way people planned. It's just you have to roll with the punches and adapt.
Yeah. How is it by you there at all?
It's the same as pretty much everywhere. I mean, I go to the grocery store and I don't do a hell of a lot. I had a good summer. I was at the beach a lot.
Yeah.
I swim a lot. I was able to get a lot of exercise in and swim in the ocean, swim in the pool. But the filmmaking is sort of come to a stop right now. My brother has written some scripts. I actually had COVID last April.
Oh, wow.
And I got it on Easter Sunday.
Wow.
Amazingly enough. I suddenly had no appetite. It was very bizarre. I just suddenly had no appetite. The next day I had a fever of 101.7.
Wow.
And diarrhea, was dehydrated. And that went on for like a week. And then it just sort of went away.
Wow.
I mean, I took Tylenol to lower the fever, but that makes you sweat. It's very unpleasant. But I just decided I'd get over it on my own. And then after a week, the fever went down to 97 from 101.7. And then my appetite, once my appetite came back, I ate like a horse.
Wow.
People brought me food, but I couldn't eat because I wasn't hungry. I lost almost 10 pounds, which wasn't a bad thing. But after... It was not the only symptom that I didn't have was I was able to breathe okay. That I never had that problem. So
it's strange, all these crazy different things for it, but I think I think the hospitals are they're doing better with it, and at least people aren't as dying as much anymore. That was pretty brutal there for a while.
Yeah, well, we were all worried in the beginning. Yes, that's for sure. But anyway, I've kept. I've had submitted films to film festivals, and this is like the third online one that I've been involved with. And the online thing isn't bad because it's not as good as the theater. I mean, but it's still, your movies are being shown all over the world.
Yeah, that's the good thing. We had last one we did. We had, instead of having a couple people in a theater, like maybe 30, 40 people in a theater, we had 6,000 views.
Yeah,
So.
and we had one of them. I think it was Asbury. It was a New Jersey film festival. I forgot, Asbury Park or something, and they had people from Italy watching simultaneously. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning there.
Oh, wow.
They were watching. They were up. I mean, it was like 7 o'clock here, but
wow,
kind of cool, I think. But anyway, so ask me questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you were creating this film, how long did this one take for you to do?
Pretty quickly. My brother comes up with ideas, and then we shot it with his kids. It's about an artist. If you remember the movie, you remember it. It's about an artist who you see him as a little kid drawing. First, he's getting bullied by his older brother, and then he realizes when he draws pictures, he can actually change the narrative. He draws a picture of his brother who's about to hit him over the head with a hammer, erases the hammer, and the hammer disappears. So he's got magical powers. And then we see him as he's older, and he can change events that happen around him, like shootings and violent things. And he uses his art to change the narrative of the world. I mean, it's a magical thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's really what it's about.
And I know you like to mess around with special effects and stuff on your films. And how was this different to do than the other ones in the past, or was it kind of the same?
Well, I mean, I had to come up with a way to make
things just
disappear. You know, I found an effect in Final Cut, a wiping effect. It's like wiping something off the wall that seemed to work pretty well. I mean, I don't know if Rob always comes up with an idea, and he says, you know, like make like the car into the Driving of the Dead, you know, make one of the cars disappear. And I go, how am I going to do that? He goes, oh, you're going to do it. You just do it. You know, I said, well, you think up the idea. You're the writer. You think up the idea. And I got to figure out how to do it.
It's not easy to do it.
No. I mean, you know, no, no, it's not. And I mean, but you just get to play around with it, and you know, it's a graphics thing, and then you sort of make it. I don't know. I just have to just figure it out somehow.
And working with kids. Well, I know you have worked with kids before, and you said that they're relatives, so that might have been easier. But how is it working with young kids?
Well, it depends on the kid, because some kids have. In my brother's case, he's got these 2 grandsons. Actually, he's got 3 grandsons, but one of them's too little yet to be in the movies. But one of them, they both sort of like to be on camera, but one of them really has tremendous potential to be an actor. He's got amazing concentration. I mean, and he takes direction. He does what you say. He adds. What a good actor will do is they'll add something without you telling him to do it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll give, you know, I need you got to look afraid or something like that. And he'll do a gesture that I never told him to do. And he seems to know where the camera is and whether his expression will get caught. And he does something in the racer where I asked him to look intense. He's drawing. He has to look intense because I had to do a dissolve from his face as a kid to him as an adult, which was his other son. And I said, you got to hold the expression. He did. He did it for like a minute or something. He just did it. You know, I don't know how. I don't know how he did. How I didn't tell him. You know, he didn't go to acting school, but he's got a knack for doing stuff like that. He's also Lucas. He's the younger boy. He's a magician. He likes to do magic tricks in front of a whole group of people in the room. And he's only 7 years old.
Wow.
And he does magic tricks. He likes to perform. He seems to have a natural talent to not to perform and not be intimidated by the act. I think maybe he'll be an actor or something like that. But he's just a kid now, you know. But
it's great to find something like that early, even if you do different things, but just like, oh, I have a talent to do this, and maybe continue it, maybe not, but just have that's a great thing to have at your age.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it. His older brother is not so interested. He's very smart, but he's not really interested in. I mean, there's also kind of brotherly rivalry or something. You have to be careful about complimenting one more than the other, because then the other one will get mad. I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah. What about so you have stuff written? Are you going to start anything up soon?
Well, Rob has two short scripts, and he doesn't want me to say the name of them because, and there's a longer script that we wrote. I might have even submitted it to you guys one.
Oh,
it's called
the
Shape
script?
Pen. I don't know if I submitted it to you guys or not. It's really it's about a writer who develops writer's block, and he auctions, or he goes to a pawnbroker, takes his wife's engagement ring, and gets a pen. The guy gives him a pen. He said belonged to Shakespeare once. It's a quill pen, and all of a sudden he loses his writer's block. Oh, wow. And it as a script, it's won a bunch of awards. I mean, I think it's a great script, but it really requires good actors and really good production, and that's something that we've had for several years, and but it really requires. It's not something you can just do quickly. You have to. Yeah. I might. I'm not sure if I entered it in one of your festivals or not. I may. I was in one it was in the Northeast Film Festival. Is that one of yours or
no? No. That is Larry. That's Larry. He is part of here. He's around here. He's around here.
He got nominated for best screenplay a few years ago. But anyway, it's something that we're working on. But we have some others that can be done more quickly. But yeah. As soon as we get out of this pandemic thing,
I know. Hopefully, it's going a little bit longer than I expected, but people are starting to make films again, very slowly.
People are shooting things with their cell phones in their apartments, and then having the actors individually shoot things, and then someone's putting the stuff together. I mean, I guess where there's a will, there's a way.
And they're all like quarantine films, and I said, I was saying before that I don't want to see any more quarantine films. I don't want to be reminded of all this when it's gone.
Tell me about it. I know. It's like a period of repression or something, or where people are trapped, like Anne Frank being trapped in her parents' basement or attic or something, I mean, it's a dark period, not to mention all the stuff that's going on with the election and everything.
Oh yeah, this has been crazy. I turned my TV off. I was watching a lot when we were home a lot, but now I'm working back at school and it's been nuts. So I don't even watch TV anymore. It's just off. I haven't watched it in 2 months. Haven't put the TV on in 2 months, really.
Probably just as well, but I find personally that, I mean, I have stuff that I've made just on my own, just shooting footage and stuff. I live in Long Beach, and I've shot people walking on the boardwalk and stuff. Just to so I have something to play with, edit something, because it gives me that keeps me from being depressed.
Yeah.
I
was actually out in Long Beach with my cousin Steve. Early on, I think it was June actually, because our from Point Lookout, they have a brewery now, a Bright Eye Brewery. So
how was that? I've never been there.
That's pretty good. We had a good time there, and then it was funny because I guess we were in. They had just opened, I guess, the Long Beach inside, so we were inside, but it was really weird. There wasn't many people around, obviously, and we tasted a few things, and then that was really it. And everything else is pretty much kind of closed, but the beaches was nice. It was really beautiful to go to the beach, and there was hardly anyone there, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, well, some people won't eat inside; they want to eat outside. Yeah. It's still warm out, but then I've heard people asking. I think it was the Laurel Diner. They said, "What are you going to do when it gets cold? We want to eat. We won't eat inside. We want to eat outside. Are you going to get heaters and tents and things?" But then that's kind of like eating inside. I'm not that freaked. I just got another antibody test because I want to know if I still have the antibodies. I haven't had the results yet, but I had antibodies for a while. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you keep them or not. You know? Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, I as long as, from my selfish point of view as a filmmaker, as long as I can get my brother and I talk about it, as long as we can get our films shown in some format.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about, is getting the film out there and shown. And I'm not adverse to the online thing, as I've been in 3 of them so far. And it's not a bad thing. You know, I mean, it's not as, it's a different experience. It's just a different experience. And
and luckily I've been able to talk to filmmakers this way, at least. So I've been able to see everybody.
What just generally, what has been the general attitude of filmmakers towards the online experience?
They're okay with it. They're okay with it, but they want to go back to normalcy.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's like during these times, I guess you got something going on.
Something's better than nothing. And it is, you know, the advantage of online is that, you know, you tell people at the end of film festivals during the Q&A, normally say, well, I have my movie is on the YouTube.
It's online. Yeah, go online and see it.
Online to see it. Now you're getting to see it, you know, right away as part of the film festival. I mean, you know, and there were people watching it at one I was at, I keep forgetting the name, Asbury Park or something, film festival. And there were people in Italy and France watching my movie.
That's pretty cool.
Part of the thing, you know, and you know, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, frankly, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, you wouldn't get that if it was shown in the theater. So
no, not at all. So well, thanks for coming on today. Do you have anything you want to promote? Anything out there that people can go see? Any of your other films online that people can go watch?
Well, we're online at Phil's Film on YouTube, and I have another. Can I plug another film festival?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I have there's something called the New York Long Island Film Festival, and which is next week.
Oh, it's next week. Okay.
I think it's the 23rd and the 24th. And we have a film in that, one of our old movies called Fitzgerald's Flask, which won an award, several comedy awards years ago. And it was accepted. It's an old movie back from 2006, I think it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Jerry Ferretti, accepted it, and I'm flattered that he accepted it. And
then you can see that online in 2 weeks, you said?
They're having it. It's in a theater. It's not a theater. It's the Lindenhurst Moose Lodge.
Ooh.
Showing. And I don't know what it's about. Supposedly it's gonna be social distancing and safe, and I hope so, you know. And but he was very adamant about having a projection screening.
Yeah.
And, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, you know,
if you get a big room, if you get a nice big room, you could social distance. You can still have enough people. Not bad. We'll see.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Take care.
All right. See you. Hello, everyone. We're back here at the Point Lookout Film Festival. We got the Kramer brothers on with us today, and you guys are back again for another one, huh?
Yep.
So, yeah, you were in Point Lookout in the past, right? I believe you were.
We were in the inaugural one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great.
Last year, though.
Oh, yeah. It went by, well, it feels like a year and a half ago now. It's so long ago. We really wanted to have this, and obviously we can't have it just yet, but we're having another one in April, so we better have that one, I'll tell you. But so are you guys okay enjoying the online fest at all, or ready to go back to normals?
I'd like to go back to normal. I mean, the whole networking thing, everything that, you know, these things are supposed to bring you together with other filmmakers. You're kind of missing a lot of that with most of these festivals. So,
were you guys able to film since I last talked to you? Were you able to film anything?
No.
But I mean, you recently got something done, I believe, right?
Yeah, in the early on in the year, we got like a 5-minute short comedy done.
And then that's out there right now.
Yeah. Well, at first we just put it right on YouTube, and then I think we took it down just because we were like, you know what, let's hit the circuit with it, see if anybody likes it enough to play it.
Yeah. That's the one thing now. Everyone's running out of films to put out there. Got to start making them now. Well, hopefully.
We're lucky enough. We actually have one that was filmed right after Assisted Suicide, which is playing at Point Lookout. And we shelved it. Not really shelved it. We just, put it on the back burner because we had all these other projects we were doing with Outtake Productions.
Yeah.
And we did 3, 4, 5. I think it ended up being 5 co-productions with them while we were trying to edit that. So that one's ready to go. We're going to wait till 2021 see if things are better. We're gonna wait till January and then start
Yeah.
putting it out there. But that one's ready to go now too.
I hope so. It would be nice to go to places again. It's starting up. I went to a place that was outside, and then I was in where Larry has his festivals, and they had the theater open there. It was weird. It was very small amount of people, but the theater was so big you can social distance easy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll have some more there. We'll see. That's it was pretty cool to just see people again.
Yeah.
So, but so you got assisted suicide. I know it's making the rounds and everything. Is this kind of towards the end of it, or do you still got it in upcoming festivals online?
It's still in festivals. I mean, I feel like this is the middle maybe of it.
Yeah, middle. Yeah,
because it started off slow, but so did Keep It in the Dark actually.
No.
Well, Keep It in the Dark, that was just ignorance. We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We entered like 7 festivals in a year, and then we're like, that's not nearly enough. Like,
Yeah.
and but this one we're kind of, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't getting enough play, so we started kind of concentrating on this one, make sure it gets out there. Because I mean, I'm really, really proud of this one.
Yeah.
So I think we started pushing this again, and it's been in some of the more prestigious festivals too. So it may not have like a high acceptance rate, but it's getting in the bigger festivals. So
that's good when that happens. Yes, it's always different. You can never tell with these films anymore, like what they get into, and it's like no rhyme or reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know,
they're the same thing. Like we were putting in like Playdate and Keep It in the Dark into the same festivals last year, and everybody that we know loved Playdate more.
Yeah.
Every festival was taking Keep It in the Dark and rejecting Playdate. I'm like, wow, this is weird.
Wow.
And Playdate's still our most successful as far as like how many festivals it's played at and where that's played all over the country. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I've seen it at plenty of festivals. Right? It did a nice run there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're still doing that one too. I figure we're gonna keep going until until like the momentum stopped, because that's one thing we didn't do with Keep in the Dark. It was still hot when we pulled it from the festival circuit. We're like, I don't know, maybe we should have just wrote it out a little bit longer and waited till like, they told us it was time to stop putting it in festivals. You know?
Well, that's a good one. Did you hit up a bunch of horror festivals with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the horror festivals and going to them. They were so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Just the genre, it's so crazy. It's so much fun.
Yeah, we were actually thinking about it, like this time last year. That's all we were doing. Like every weekend, like it was just another festival. It was ridiculous.
I went right before all this happened. I was down in Atlanta at a horror fest, and I had so much. I was the only one there, and I was meeting all new people, having a blast, having a great time. And they're like, "Oh, you got to come to our next one. It'll be great." And then all of a sudden, nothing. We're all online now, so that's what happened. But anyway, about assisted suicide, you want to talk a little bit about that and the process of that, creating that?
Well, it was a really interesting project for us because it didn't unfold. Usually, it's when we sit down and write, it's just Herb and I will sit down. And we're like, okay, this is the concept, one of our concepts that we have written down, and we'll just write it together. This one was weird because it was Herb's concept, and then we had a bunch of ideas, but it wasn't quite like a full outline. It was just kind of like, these are some funny gags or whatever, or some good story pieces. And then I put it all together, the first draft, but it was really dark.
Yeah.
like it's dark comedy, but this was way too dark. So the rewrites were mostly him kind of lightening it up a little bit. And then we just came together and it became what it is now. But I don't know. It's this was a really interesting project, really fun. It was the first time we actually wrote characters for specific actors.
The people? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we knew we wanted Melissa and Diane. We're like, they have that's like unbelievable chemistry on screen. Whenever you see them, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're already friends with them, so that makes it much easier. Like you don't, sometimes you get on set and you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm getting into. This actor might be a little difficult, but we knew it was going to go really smoothly.
Yeah.
And it did for the most part. I mean, our first table read was canceled because Diane went into labor.
Oh wow.
So it was like, okay. So we postponed the whole production because of that.
Oh wow. And you know, you worked with kids now in a few of them. How's working with the kids on set?
I think we've been really, really lucky, really fortunate. Like one of the ones our brand new one that's really played maybe, or it's getting a world premiere later this month online.
No.
And then the day after it gets an in-person premiere at a drive-in.
Oh wow.
So that one, we knew the girl who was the lead because of The Angry Man.
Okay, yeah.
Co-produced, that was Outtake Productions, and we co-produced it with them.
Yeah.
And it was her and Abby, and we've used both of them because Abby was the little girl in Playdate.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know. So I just feel like the kids we've worked with are more professional than most of the adults we've worked with. And I was so surprised. Everybody's always like, "No, don't work with kids. They're horrible."
Yeah, it's tough when young kids too, because they're pretty young. You're not dealing with like the teenage, high schoolish.
I think they were ranged from like 9 to 13 or so.
Yeah,
or 14 actually. The one kid looks much younger than he is. But I think we've been really fortunate with that. That's another reason with again working with Outtake Productions, because they have that the web series, or So the Story Goes. And it was basically started because they were teaching kids how to make films. So all the actors and stuff and all the crew, they were kids. So we knew they had experience, and we're like, if it weren't for them, we would not have worked with kids. Like we would have just gone out and done it ourselves. No way. But now it's not so scary.
Yeah. So you worked. You said 5 films with the other production company.
Yes, I believe so. It was the first one was The Angry Man.
Oh yeah.
And later that year we did Forgotten and Playdate. And last year we did Best of Fest and You're It. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Those are the actual official ones. We've done a lot of little things.
Yeah.
Like we helped them shoot a scene for one of their seasons of our So the Story Goes, and they helped us with a newsreel thing for our feature and things like that. But this was those 5 are like full on collaborations.
Oh, you're going to work with them in the future on more? Is that?
Yeah, we plan on it. I mean, before this, they were developing a web series that we're co-producing, and yeah, I love working with them. So I hope so. You know,
is it? Are you guys ready to go film now?
Mentally, yes. I really, really just want to film something. But like I said, I think we mentioned this in our last interview too. But it's a little different when you're this small, because it's like you're responsible for everything. Yeah. If somebody gets sick on set, something happens, that's on you.
It is. It's tough to do, and all the COVID testing and all that kind of stuff. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So, you know, they got on the big stuff in New York. They started that again now, and people they have to stay in like a hotel room for 2 weeks before they go on set. It's pretty crazy.
I heard the one assistant director in New Jersey who passed away from COVID on set. Yeah. Got it on set. I was like, oh my God, that was like
that was kind of like, oh yeah, we better be careful. Yeah. It's because anyone can. I've been in school, and luckily it's been okay, but it's pretty tough. It's not easy. So, but you just got to be with it all the time, because a lot of times people slack off after a while and just like, we're all right, and then all of a sudden it happens, you know.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully it will be ending soon, and it seems like to be coming back. But some festivals are still like, we're going to stay online in like March and April. I'm like, come on. We need
some benefits to online festivals, because we've been in them before.
Yeah,
there was some, and it was just it's kind of convenient, you know. Nobody has to go out to see the film, so there's like really no excuse. You can sit at home and watch it.
Also, some benefit to having because sometimes you'll get calls from a film festival director to, hey, can we put your film in there? Because there's no film, nobody's filming, so there's lack of film. So they're like, we put it in your corner. It's like, yeah, sure, play it again.
Yeah, and you get a lot of views too, because I noticed for Hang On to Your Shorts, we got a lot of views, and where it would be like 30 people in a theater, there was like thousands and thousands watching it.
Yeah.
So that was different. That was pretty cool. So hopefully you get to do that again with Point Lookout, something new for this fest. But I really do like going in there and hanging out at the Point Lookout bar there, and they just opened up a brewery as well. So next time around.
At a festival at a brewery.
Yeah, they're getting ready. They had this whole upstairs that was empty. They gotta build it and put it together. But I was looking at it, going like, "Oh my god, this could be amazing!" It was huge, so that would be really cool. That's on my list. Brewery Festival. So we'll see what happens in the future. Yeah. So anything you guys want to promote out there? You got your website. You got all your films all over the place. But can they watch some of them online? And
we haven't put any out there yet.
Mhm.
But you can always go to www.joburtentertainment.com to see more about our screenings.
Yeah.
All the social media links are on there. We keep up more with Facebook, although
Me too, yeah.
we do have to do Instagram now with the kids.
Yeah.
And that's actually working out really well because they get really excited and we'll share, everything you're doing. I'm like, nice,
I'm learning that too. I'm learning Instagram now. Like I used to never post that just had like a couple of pictures. I'm learning it now. And it's getting more play than Facebook, but I'm just used to Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I know what Facebook's supposed to be for like old people or whatever, but I think there's too many benefits. Like you can create the events and it's just, I don't know. I just like the way you can post on it better than Instagram.
All right, guys. So hopefully get to see you guys soon and good luck. And we'll let you know more about the festival as in the next coming days. We're kind of just putting it all together now.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Yeah, no problem. All right. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
I'll start.
Okay.
My name's Shannon Morrill. I am the lead actor and one of the co-producers of our short film, I'm Not Lost.
And Phil?
I'm Phil Russell. I was also a co-producer, the DP, and the editor on I'm Not Lost.
And hi, I'm Janelle Tedesco, and I was the writer, co-producer, and supporting actor in I'm Not Lost.
So how did this collaboration come about?
Fun story. You might remember the film that I did, Stunt Mom.
Yes.
Well, Shannon was my director, and when she and I were out on the film festival circuit, we met Phil and Tom with one of their own films, Handle with Care, which I loved and thought was awesome. And we just kind of hung out at lots of different events, and we really liked them. So we decided to collaborate together and all work together, which was great. And the idea came about when Shannon, when you want to tell the story?
Yeah. While we were running around to different events for the Stunt Mom film, there was one event where Janelle and I were supposed to meet up and I just didn't show up. And I kind of just ditched her, it seemed. But I called her the next day and she's like, "Are you okay? Are you dead?" And the reason was that I was on my way to like a bar in Queens, I think is where the event was happening. And my phone died and I didn't have a charger. And I realized that I was entirely useless without my cell phone. And I knew how to get home. I could have probably gotten to like the Empire State Building. And that was about it. So I just didn't know what to do. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm just going to go home. So I went home. And then we were inspired by the comedy of that story and how relatable I think it is.
And what about you, Phil? How did you get involved?
Well, like Janelle said, we met at film festivals, and then we kept meeting up and talking. And then after that happened, Janelle came up with this script, and she reached out to Tom and I and was like, "Hey, all four of us should meet up. I've got this idea. Let's go over a few different ideas and see if we want to like try to make something together." So we all met up, and we really liked the idea and the script that Janelle wrote, and we were like, "Yeah, let's just go forward with this. This is fun. This is something that we could shoot in the city. It's all outside. It can be like run and gun." And we had a bunch of ideas for fun shots that we could do, and it just all kind of fell together. And it just seemed like such a fun idea and a relatable thing. And we went through with it, and we did it, and guerrilla shot everything. But we had a great crew, and it was just so much fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And and how was the editing with this?
So
the editing part.
No, the editing was fun too. Since we did do some shots that were longer takes.
Yeah.
I guess in some ways that makes the edit easier because you just put in that take, you find the best one, and then you're good. But the montage was fun to come up with because we weren't 100% sure what exactly we were going to do with it when we shot it. And we had a ton of different footage of Shannon walking around lost. And we wanted the montage to not be too long, but also wanted to use all the footage. Yeah. So we came up with like split screen idea to try and get more of it in there in a way that wouldn't make it overstay its welcome, but still show a bunch of different stuff and maybe add to the comedy a bit.
Yeah.
Phil's work with the editing, that montage is just, to me, just utter genius. And another way that we all collaborated together, which I thought was cool. So I, wrote the film, but with input with all of my partners here, and even to the point where we were on the set and we were filming, and they were like, "Okay, we got to go catch a bunch of stuff for this montage." And I was like, "What montage? Like, what's the montage? When does that happen?" Because they may have said something in the script like she wanders around, and that was kind of it. That's pretty much all I wrote. And then Phil's brilliance came up with how they were shooting Tom and Phil together. Came up with all these wonderful ideas, and the way he put them together, I adore the montage. Shannon is very funny in that too. I love your work.
Yeah, it was fun shooting it because we took it at like different levels. Tom, our director, was like, "Okay, so I want you to run across. And you're like scale of 1 to 10. You're only like on a scale of 1 lost." And he's like, "Okay, now you're 5. Now you're 10." And like, so it was fun. I think Phil built a nice arc of the increasing panic that we were able to capture.
And has this played at any other festivals yet, or did you get to play in like the regular go to festivals before all this happened, or was this released after all that?
No.
Like the weekend the pandemic hit, we were gonna make our debut live in person.
It got canceled, or it got put online, not canceled.
Yeah, it was going to be a dual premiere, Queens World Film Festival and Women's Comedy Film Festival in Atlanta. And Women's Comedy put on their in-person festival and a virtual festival in September, and Queens was virtual. And what other ones have we done, you guys?
Well, Art of Brooklyn was all, they went virtual as well. And then we recently got a chance to do a drive-in, which was really cool. And that was NYC.
Festival of Cinema.
Yeah, Festival of Cinema. NYC. That was fun.
Yeah. At least we're sort of getting there.
Screen, so that was
At least you got to do that with that so far. I was like, I was ready. We pushed this to November. I said, there's no way we're not gonna be in it.
I know.
Back in April, I was like, yeah, November, we're fine November. And
I felt the same way, and I was looking forward to going back there, and I was like, it'll be fine. We'll just be wearing masks, and maybe you take a sip of a drink. I don't know. Like, it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, but who knew how crazy it's going to be?
Now they can go inside. You can, but it's a small place to have 20. Well, no. Actually, it's Long Island, so it's almost full. But it's still not. You still really can't do it. But it's getting there.
Yeah, we missed the socialization that came with the
considering that we all met at film festivals in person, and that's where we hit it off, and how this collaboration started. So, if there's any other filmmakers in this festival, like, reach out to us.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a lot of interviews today, so people are doing that at least. But we do have. I mean, there's quite a bit of films in it. I mean, it's not the biggest. It's one day, so it's about 30 or so films in this one. So not like the other one that I did that had 180 films that we played online. That was a little nuts. But
wow,
that's a lot.
That was a lot. So we'll see. And then we have another one in April. So we're hoping to have that at least. So already the next year, it's kind of overlapping already. So like, oh, geez. But anyway, this is a little different. So we started doing a bunch of interviews online, and it seemed to work out. At least I get to talk to filmmakers. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Where's the interview going to go?
We'll have this on our Facebook page for Point Lookout and our webpage Point Lookout, and we're maybe on YouTube as well. I guess we have a YouTube page. I don't know. It's all over the place. They usually get all over the place, but this one usually we go live. But for these interviews, I've been taping them, cutting them down a little bit, putting them together and then putting the whole thing out.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Nice.
We'll definitely share it once it's ready.
Yeah, so then you could go back and you could see some other filmmakers and see what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
They get in touch with him that way. So, this is a new thing. I use StreamYard a lot. I used to do a podcast show called Hang On to Your Shorts in the studio, and then all the guys kind of dispersed and disappeared. So I made a new one called Cullen on Film, and it just kind of blew up, and it's all over the place now. So
I've never used StreamYard yet, but I actually really like the layout. It's simple and effective.
I could have up to 10 people on here at the same time. So, and it usually sounds pretty good. Sometimes every once in a while, it's not so great, but I haven't had a problem. I've had about 40 shows already on my own since March when we started this. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. I kind of took a break from it because school kind of sucked me in, but we'll see what happens. And the cool thing was that you get actors that would never do any of these things, or like people you would never expect to see. We're like, sure,
yeah.
I got nothing else going on.
That's one thing that's come out of this situation for festivals that I think is really neat, is that everybody's getting interviewed. People that would, like you said, people that wouldn't normally show up. So I'm hoping when things return back to normal, festivals will still also do these virtual interviews and maybe play them. Like if you're planning on doing a Q&A after, maybe you could, like, if possible, film a virtual one with some of the filmmakers from Canada or from wherever that can't be there, and then play their interview as well. I think that would be a cool thing to add to
that's what we're planning on keeping doing this. So we'll see.
Cool.
I have people that don't even, I told people that, like, I don't like interview. I don't like talking in front of people. I'm like, just talk. We'll have a conversation. So that's it. So I've got a lot of people who never do this kind of stuff doing it. So
Janelle's the best at that.
Yeah.
Janelle's a great interviewee.
So good.
They're my biggest fans.
Well, you were part of the Point Lookout, I think, in the first year, I believe, when we first started.
Yeah, it was.
This is year 3 already, and we're already working towards year 4. So
That's great.
I loved it. Like I said, I was looking forward to going back. It was a lot of fun. I liked how everything was set up in the room. You just kind of went through and did everything, your 3 blocks, and then the awards right after that. No additional costs. All the filmmakers thrown in there together. The bar right there. It was great.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, I know.
And we sort of knew the owners. We knew the owners of the place because they were related. So
sometimes it's nice to have too. It's a little bit of a smaller environment, which makes it easier to just get out and talk to all the filmmakers too.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a brewery now down in the next town over called Bright Eye Brewery. So in the future, there might be some films at the brewery as well.
Oh, fun!
Cool. That would be fun.
Yeah, so we'll have the restaurant, bar, and the brewery as well. So we'll maybe expand more days. We'll see. Maybe not next year because who knows how many films we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Do you ever play any of your students' films?
All the what? The students?
I said, do you ever play any of your high school students' films?
I do. And we weren't going to, but we're online. And I was talking to Larry. I said, I got a few films here. We submit to festivals all the time that aren't ones that I'm part of, and we get in and play. And they've been online. A couple of them graduated too, so that were really good. But I was like, I got some other student films from other schools they want to put in. So he's like, yeah, let's put a student block together. So we will have a high school student block.
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Cute. Good.
Yeah. So a little bit more about the film here. You said so you played in some festivals. Do you have any upcoming, or maybe hopefully, or did you hold off on it to maybe when it opens up that you can go to festivals?
Well,
Where
we're
we at,
in
Phil?
post on another film right now that we collaborated on, which Shannon is probably the most up to date about. If you want to talk about it a little.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like a spin-off of the short film. We've come up with the whole silly universe. And so in our short film, we have Janelle plays this like stoic, mysterious stranger that comes in and helps my lead character in the end. And Janelle created such a weird, quirky character that we all fell in love with that character. And we were like, we want to know the story behind that weirdo that just comes in at the end of our film. So I wrote a whole new film starring that character, and we were able to shoot it around this time last year. And we're in post. We were put a little off track because of the pandemic, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're back on track. We're on like our second or third rough cut, guys, with our editor Glenn. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so we're getting there, and then I guess that will hopefully be like an extension of this virtual festival run with I'm Not Lost. This new one's called I'm Not Nice, and it's part of our I'm Not insert what have you world that we're creating just for fun.
Oh, that's great. And have you guys, has anyone written anything during this time that we've been doing? Not much.
I mean, I wrote and shot a film this summer because I decided to apply to grad school for film. And I wanted a piece that was all my own that I directed that I thought captured kind of what I wanted to do and what my vision, I guess, is. And so I wrote a film. It's about a little girl whose grandfather dies and she's too young to understand what death is. So she just thinks that he is lost and that he can be retrieved. All she has to do is find him. So she goes on this magical journey in her imagination to go and find him and meet him where he, you know, she remembers the story of what him saying, "Oh, I'll meet you over here." And she's like, "Okay, he must be there." She goes on this adventure to go find him and try and bring him back. And, you know, is met with disappointment without giving too much away because, as we know, it's about learning what death is and that death is permanent. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. It was interesting to shoot. We had like maybe 6 crew members, including myself, and we shot entirely outdoors pretty much, and everyone wore masks, but we were able to do it safely, and so that was kind of an interesting challenge to add to the film.
Yeah. And are you done editing it now, or?
I'm very close. Phil is actually doing the color correction on the film. And we have like our fine cut. We're getting some color correction, and I'm working with a composer, which for Stunt Mom, where I directed with Janelle, her husband was the composer. But I feel like that was a comedy as well, and I feel like the music wasn't as heavy-handed as it is in this, you know, drama. And I'm learning so much working with my composer. Because, you know, we're watching these scenes with her drafts and we're like, why isn't that working? Or wow, like this one note that you made has changed how I view this scene entirely.
Yeah.
So it's been a really cool learning process for sure.
No, it's amazing what score can do and that the composers can do to films. I've worked with a lot of really great ones, and they've changed films like crazy.
Yes, and like my producer, we had, of course, things went wrong on set because they always do. And I was like, "Oh no, the scene, it's ruined." And he was like, "Music will fix it." And he's, you know, more advanced than I am. He's more of a veteran than I am. And I was like, "What do you mean? It's totally ruined." He's like, "No, music is going to fix it." And now I'm working with him. I'm like, wow, just slap some sad music on there and it works.
Yeah, it usually works. What I used to do is I would do my whole film and then I'd send it off to a composer and they'd just watch it and make their music and match up. And it always worked. Yeah.
And now I feel better. For any film I make moving forward, I'm just like, hey, music is going to help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've got that.
Anyone else been shooting anything or writing anything?
Well, I've had my hands full with my kids in the pandemic, although we have lots of projects and things in my mind, but I do want to send.
How's school?
School is complicated. You know, it's complicated. We have blended. I have 2 kids, and they go on different alternating days, but you know, we actually do honestly feel like New York City. I like all the protocols they have in. I feel like the kids are safe. Doesn't make me necessarily not worry all the time. So, you know, I spend a good deal of my time worrying and thinking about being creative again one day. So that will come. But I want Phil to talk about the feature that he wrote.
Oh yeah.
I am writing a feature. I'm like 35 pages in right now.
Yeah.
It's based on an idea that we had for a short film that we did for 48 Hour Film Festival a few years ago.
Okay.
And we're putting the finishing touches on it, on like the re-edit now to submit it to more film festivals. But basically, my brother had this crazy idea to play off of it. And it's basically about this family for who generations have run their own business where they cut people's hair in the back of a moving car while they drive them to their destination. And the original guy who came up with this idea was basically a savant who was able to do this perfectly and made a fortune and put all his money away and invested properly. And since then, his family have been hoping to replicate that success, but over the years have been throwing the money away because none of them can do it as well because it's an incredibly dangerous and stupid thing to be doing. So you finally get to modern day where it's a move. So the bulk of the movie is about this father and son, and the father is super into the business and the son wants nothing to do with it. But the father's trying to reinvigorate it and try all these new ideas to find success, and is hoping that his son will follow in his footsteps. But his son is like, "This is stupid. We're hurting people. This is a joke." And that's the basis of it.
That sounds good. That sounds pretty funny. Yeah. So is it supposed to be funny?
Yes, it's supposed to be funny. It has a. I guess it's almost like Edward Scissorhands meets the Master of Disguise, which is such a weird combination. But
well, I get that. Yeah.
That's funny.
That is
What
funny.
about you, Chris? Working on anything?
Nope. Nope. Just school. I'm trying to get school stuff out there. We just we do the news, and we just interviewed Kevin Smith on our news. Local guy.
Oh,
cool. So he came back, and they opened up this movies for a week right here where I used to work, actually. But I've known those guys, Kevin Smith and crew, for 20 something years. So got to get the kids to interview him and a few cast and crew members from Clerks. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
So that's
Awesome.
kind of, it's all about the kids now, but and this already planning for next summer, producing 2 shorts next summer already. So
Oh, great.
yeah.
Great.
So we'll see.
Yeah, if anything, this is pre-production time.
Yeah, pre-production.
Exactly.
I said I was going to write something. I didn't. So we'll
It's
see.
hard right now. It is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But made a lot of connections doing this. I interviewed a lot of people that you wouldn't normally
That's
see.
cool.
So
That's
yeah,
good.
so it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And I just emailed some random people, and they're like, "Sure, come on." So, but anyway, I have a lot of interviews today. Well, I got a little break now, so I'm going to go for a little jog, a little run. It's nice out today.
It's
It
It is.
beautiful.
I was just out for a walk myself.
Oh yeah, so I got to get some exercise. I can't miss this day. I mean, 3 days of pouring rain and crap and being
Oh,
inside.
really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I gotta get it while this lasts, because it's mid-October. You don't know, it's gonna get cold soon. So
Mhm.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. We got to take advantage
yeah,
so we don't go crazy.
we'll go like double crazy because we still got COVID. We'll be inside. It'll be freezing. Oh. I was telling other people before, I'm like, once all this kind of clears, we'll still be watching COVID films nonstop. And I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Let's try to do something different.
It's like, no. We need escapism. We don't want to reflect the world
No, I
right
don't
now.
want-
We
I don't
need
wanna watch
escapism.
Any COVID films when this is over. I don't want to see any of them. And they'll all come into the festivals. I know it.
I'm
COVID this,
sure.
COVID this. So
Yeah. Oh man.
I judged some 48-hour film festivals that were shot during the pandemic,
oh boy.
and most of them were just like one person in their apartment trying to make that work. And some of them were great, and some of them was like, oh man,
It's like
I'm excited
someone's
for-
behind
excited
you.
for this to not be the film that we have to watch and make.
Yeah, that's crazy. But well, thanks for coming on, guys. I want to go around and see if you want to have anything you want to promote, any websites, any films that you have out there that people can watch. You want to start with you, Shannon?
Yeah. I love to be kept in touch with via Instagram, and I post a lot of my stuff there and teasers for new things. And that's just my first name dot last name, Shannon Morrill on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Phil?
I guess for me, the best thing to do would be to follow Thursday Shoots, which is me and Tom's and really all of our teams at this point.
Mhm.
We're the most active on Facebook. We'll update about I'm Not Lost and anything else that we have in the works. And we have a website too, thursdayshoots.com.
Great.
Yeah.
And Janelle?
Yeah. Thursday Shoots is awesome. We love them so much. Yeah, I think I've tried to stay active on Instagram. I've let Twitter completely go. That's all pandemic. But I am on there, and who knows what will happen after the pandemic if I continue with that. So that's Tedesco Janelle with both Instagram and Twitter. Facebook, I tend to be there more than anywhere, but just for updates and stuff, just my website, Janelle
Can anyone see your film that played the first year? Or is it out there?
Oh yeah, actually, I have it on YouTube and Amazon Prime. But yeah, I have links to that in several places on my website, and so yeah, that has its own website, stuntmonfilm.com. So yeah, I have the links available for that. Yeah, Stunt Mom.
Yeah, the one cool thing is we'll have a lot more people watching these films online because it is free, and so that's the really cool thing we found out of about doing the online stuff. Instead of having 30-40 people watching the film in the small theater, we had 6,000 people watching it at Hang On to Your Shorts. So
wow. That's great.
Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. That's what happens when you say free movies.
Yeah.
For during when
Actually,
everyone's
great.
sitting around at
This
home.
is
anyway.
great.
Yeah.
Thank
But that's
you.
great. That's the 6,000. That's a big number.
6,000. Well, it went all streams together, so it was probably about 2,000 a stream. We had 3 streams going, so about
That's
6,000
still
together.
pretty good. I mean, that's
That's
like you
awesome.
said, that's way more people than you'd be able to pack in any theater.
Yeah, I was talking to someone and I was like, yeah, well, maybe we would have had like 15 people in watching this early, like at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, but there are 1,000 people right now watching your film. It's like, whoa.
Maybe there's
so
something
great.
to doing simultaneous online streaming when you go back to do in-person events. Just do both.
Yeah, that could work. I think some festivals are doing that leading up to like half and half. I think the Garden State Film Festival here in New Jersey is doing half and half. So it's kind of be the hybrid thing now.
Yeah, and that's what we did at Women's Comedy in Atlanta, where we had I'm Not Nice screen too.
They even projected
Lost.
interviews with people that were abroad
Oh, really?
in the theater, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so we did like Zoom Q&As, and we put
Yeah.
it up on like the projector screen after each film block. And it came with a fair amount of technical difficulties, but we worked out the kinks once we kind of got it down. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I was in Atlanta right before this all happened. I was at a horror fest, and then I came home and
Really?
COVID was everywhere. So I like just missed it there. I probably brought it back. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It was all you,
Oh.
man.
All my fault. I brought it to Jersey. It was like the very next day. They're like, everything's shut down, COVID. I'm like, I just got off the plane. So, oh well. But yeah, thanks for coming on and enjoying a few minutes here. And I don't know when I'm going to get this up, but I know Larry will be on me saying, get it up. So I'll have to edit it real quick and get it out there. So I'll be on our
Thank you so much,
website, our Facebook page, and all over the internet.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thanks.
right.
See you guys. See you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna go for a run now. We're here with Alina, and you made the movie festival for the Point Lookout Film Festival here today. Just wanted to ask you a few quick questions about it. Anyway, so how did you come up with the idea for this?
Well, I was actually working on a different project initially, and as part of that, I interviewed George Ennis, and he was just such a dynamic character. We had such a great time meeting with him and talking about his festival that we decided to pivot and focus on him.
Yeah, great. And how long did it take you to do this? It was a long time, or short? Or?
Well, we started it, I think, in 2010, and we recorded some of his working on that year's festival. But then we went back in 2011, and we followed him for a longer period of time. And then, circumstances, we just didn't finish it until this past year.
Oh, okay. So it skips around a few years there, or did you get clips every couple of years, or?
Well, the festival, the 2011 was the last year they did the festival in the way that they were doing it. So a 2 years gap, and then there was like a one-off, and then so. And
then they changed it. Yeah. Are they thinking of maybe coming back and doing different things again, or just continue what they're doing?
I hope so. The George Ennis Film Festival is definitely something that Long Beach should continue having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I thought it was really cool because it was so close to the area in Point Lookout. I'm from Jersey really, but I'm really from Long Beach. That's the area where I was real little growing up. So I was over there this summer. Our family on the other side of the family there, they opened up a brewery in Long Beach.
Nice.
So, yeah, so the Bright Eye Brewery there. Of course, it happened right when all this happened. So, but I'm kind of upset because I like going there every year for this, and unfortunately, we can't do it this year. So we decided to. I guess we have to do it online, even though we pushed it till November. So,
yeah.
So
hopefully things will be back to normal for next season.
It seems like it. I hope so. But we already have one for April, and it's like coming up already. It's like, oh no. So we'll see. But yeah. So have you had this out for a while? Has it played in Fest before all this?
No, this is the first one.
Okay.
So yeah, we just finished it, and I'm really excited that it's going to be it's not playing in Point Lookout, but that it's such a local topic that I'm really hoping that people will get to see it.
I hope so. That's why I was excited to have it. Like we love having the local films. If we had some Long Beach and some Point Lookout films actually in it this year, and we have in the past too. We love that with all the local people coming by, and unfortunately, I'll have to push it online. But we do. I mean, I've noticed though on festivals that the one good thing is a lot more people will watch it for free online. So
yeah, I think so. I've watched a few online festivals, and yeah, I think that it gives you a chance to maybe check out things that you wouldn't have had time to check out otherwise. So it's
yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't. And well, we're not caught. I know some do, but we're not. We're just doing it for anyone can log on and watch it any time. So it's all free. So that helps with people just logging on and watching it. So we thought, hey, that's the one good thing about this stuff. So yeah, and then we started doing this for other festivals too, and like, oh, we are just going to continue. At least I get to talk to filmmakers. That's the fun part.
Yeah, I meeting people, getting a chance to just connect with others. That's half the fun of working on these projects is just.
Yeah, so obviously you've been to that festival then for a while. So do you miss that going and meeting people and at these things?
Yeah, it's it's exciting to see what everybody's working on, and just a very creative environment. And I feel like when people are at festivals, everybody's just in a happy place, and you just get to it kind of invigorates you mentally after you spend so much time working on something, and then you meet people that have kind of gone through the same thing. It's kind of nice to just know you're not the only one.
Are you from the Long Beach area, or are you from that area?
Well, I'm in a little bit more north. I'm in Lynbrook.
Okay, yeah, and then when did you start going to learn about this or meet the guy?
It was about in 2009, 2010 first started to connect.
So that was a long time ago. That was a while back.
So yeah, he's been waiting he's been waiting patiently all this time for it.
So I mean, I know you're filming different parts of it in different years. So the editing process took a long time for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, other projects, just kind of in other facets of life, kind of, leapfrog, and but it was, I always wanted to go back to it, and finally I had the opportunity. So.
Were you editing well, obviously you submitted this before April, so it was before all this happened. So I was going to say, there was a little bit of this now. But what have you been doing since during all this time? Were you writing anything or creating or able to film anything?
Yeah, I'm working on a few things. Everything's kind of a work in progress right now. So, hopefully for next season, I'll have something else that will be ready to submit. But there's a couple of different things that I'm working on. Some of it is about local folks as well. Some of it is outside of Long Island. So we'll see how everything goes.
Is it mostly focused on documentary?
Yes. Right now, I've just been working on. Well, actually, that's not true. I have a couple of nonfiction things, but we have possibly a web-based fiction program that is in the very early stages. It's kind of everything with COVID kind of throws off what we're able to work on. So, we'll see.
That would be an interesting story, talking to filmmakers and like a documentary about COVID during, like, what have they been doing all this time?
Yeah.
I think that would work out. But I think I have enough from doing all these. Just put them together.
You probably do. To be creative, you have to think outside the box. So, which is pretty great sometimes.
Have you been continuing to submit it to Fest or holding off because of this?
Right now, I'm just kind of holding off and seeing what happens.
I mean, as fun as it is online, it's so much better to be there in person.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm also finishing an MFA program, so I'm hoping to just I'm finishing off with my projects for my degree, and then I'll concentrate on other things too.
How is it doing filming for that at this time? Is it really hard, or are you getting used to it, or?
I think I'm finding new ways to work with my material. So a lot of voiceover, getting really comfortable with Zoom, and a lot of phone interviews and quick time. You got to get the internet connection going these days. But we've been making it work.
Yeah, I mean, we discovered we would do podcast, and we discovered SoundCloud, and we've been podcasting on SoundCloud like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's been something that's it's like second nature to us now. So, and we have a studio, and we're allowed back in the studio, but we're still doing that. so I don't have to leave. But anyway, yeah. So do you have anything that you want to promote? Any websites out there, or any past work that people can see?
Right now, everything else that I have is a work in progress. Everything's rough cut, got to finish it. And like we were saying, for certain kinds of things, it's easier. It works online, but then you also have to be able to be in person. So that's the long answer. The shorter answer is no, I don't have anything right now to promote.
But when it all passes, you should have a lot of fun.
It'll be like a flood.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, flood of things.
I'm hoping because a lot of film festivals are kind of gone now, and some didn't go online, and so I'm hoping there's a resurgence of everything. So we'll see. But it's really cool to watch a film about festival at a festival. So. And then it makes you think, especially during this time, if you're watching it online, I'm sure people are going to be like, "Oh, I really miss all that."
Yeah, I think so. Even myself watching it and just kind of going through it again is, it's nice to be back in that space where you can, really see people again, and just it's a different world. But we'll see.
And they've changed so much from back then to now. And there's so many other little festivals now. And so, I mean, there wasn't too many back then in 2010-ish area.
No. Well, actually, the whole thing started out with a kind of a deep dive where I was exploring what festivals were around. And there's definitely a lot more little festivals, online festivals that are going on. And, there's a lot more places where you could show your work, which is awesome too.
Yeah, I like that. But then also I kind of missed the real big festival and a big outing to go to and all that. So, and I never got to go by. I just really, I never really got to go to that back in the day. So over there. Yeah. So I was just getting into that festival thing around 2010 myself. So kind of missed that. But it's really cool to kind of to watch it and think about it. So I think it will really hit a lot of people.
Hope so.
Yeah. So anything else you would like to promote or talk about?
No, I think we'll see what happens in a few months. Like I said, we'll hopefully have a big flood of work to be put out there.
Great. So, I'm going to be putting this together. We're going to have this on our website as well as our Facebook page and maybe YouTube or wherever else. So we're going to put all the filmmaker little interviews together and maybe in about a week or so, I guess. And so we'll have it like a week or so before the festival. I can't believe it's already coming.
November, when I first started, it was going to be November. It seems so far away. I was like, oh, yeah, of course, November will be, yeah.
So we'll and then we'll let you know. We're trying to debating on exactly what we're doing. So so we'll know that in a few days.
Okay. Sounds good.
Great. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye. So we're here at Point Lookout Film Festival. We're just doing some interviews with some filmmakers. We have Fenton with us, and you did a guy walks into the bar.
Yes,
a guy walks into a bar. Yeah, I was saying it wrong. So the title's great, and the idea. How did you come up with this idea? I guess from old jokes, and you kind of put it together, or how did that title and the idea come?
Well, first of all, I had the background of being a bartender for years.
Oh yeah,
here in New York City,
Mhm.
and I'm also an actor, and I'm a writer, and I'm a storyteller, and I came up with this concept to a guy walks into a bar is an old standard joke.
Yeah.
And the premise is this particular guy walks into this bar with an agenda, and it just seemed obvious to me. And I racked my brain to come up with something really, really clever. But I figured let's stick with the cliche and get it out of the way.
And where did you film it?
There's a great bar right down the block from my house here on East 6th Street in the East Village called Josie's. It's been there. It was a speakeasy back in the day.
Wow.
It was Joe's Bar, and then somebody bought it about 5-10 years ago. I made it Josie's, but kept it exactly the way it's always been. I mean, I cleaned it up, but they were so gracious. The guy Kirk, who owns it, they own a number of bars here in the East Village. They have a bar on the 5th Street as well, and down on Avenue B.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I haven't been there in a while. Obviously, I haven't been anywhere in a while, but I used to go quite a bit, and I like that. It just looks like a really cool, typical old bar. So So I mean,
I was really, really happily surprised when Kirk said, "Sure, come on in." And because it was my first choice, and in fact, when I was pitching it to like a number of people, and I put a package together, I used that bar. I stole some shots and put it in a promotion package, and oddly enough, the man said yes right away, which I was surprised because they use this location a lot for Law and Order and Blue Bloods, and it's they use it a lot for film and television.
Oh, I could see why. It has that authenticity.
They were very gracious, yes.
And it's so hard finding locations and the perfect locations for that kind of thing.
And it's like 200 feet from my front door.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to film that?
We filmed that in about 4 hours.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. The actor Pete Pavia and myself rehearsed it as if it was a play.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a number of rehearsals, and we were totally off book, and we did take after take, and it looks pretty static the way I cut it now. But the concept for the film, in fact, I'm re-editing it right now, and I hope that's okay for the festival. It should be done by next week.
Oh yeah, you want to submit? Yeah, when you send that to us, yeah, that'd be fine.
Yes, yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell Larry's the one putting it together. I'll just tell him we'll look out for your email to just send it to us, and we'll replace replace the other one with that one.
It's going to be much better. I've added some music to go underneath the dialogue, and I've tightened the cut. So because the idea for the film was to make it a feature, and that whole scene is to be edited with inserts of live action that's reflective in the dialogue.
Okay.
And so I haven't done that yet. But
also, so about the film, how did you get your other actor for the film?
well, I'm actually an actor myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I had somebody who was a name actor who was going to do it with me. He dropped out at the end, and my friend Pete Pavia, who's a novelist and a writer of some note, he's a very good friend. So he's exactly the kind of guy that I envisioned when I wrote it, and I asked him if he would do it, and he said yes. So we started rehearsing, and like I didn't commit right away, and he just had the chops, so I just stayed with it. So Pete and I did it, and Hulk, the doorman, is somebody that I met in the hospital when I broke my ankle about 4 or 5 years ago, and he made quite the impression on me. So I brought him in, and he does a great job, and I went from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I did like you said before, it did kind of, I could see that as a play or like a black box like sitting there. So that I like that stuff.
I did it as the play with the Chelsea Rep Theater Company here in New York.
Oh wow!
And they took on the project, but I couldn't be in it or I couldn't direct it. It was just sort of a lab thing.
No.
And it played very, very well.
Yeah, it seems I definitely would love to watch that, and I haven't seen Black Box in a long time now, but I can't wait to go see that again. Right?
You'll have to be explaining that to your grandchildren, I think.
I know, right? But so have you been able to, or is anything starting up now, or any acting at all, or anything going on?
My manager tells me to be ready that things are going to start popping.
Yeah.
New York City, it's in kind of disarray about the rules, the regulations. They're closing down neighborhoods, blah blah blah. But there are thousands and thousands of crew people and hair and makeup and actors and background players that are chomping at the bit to get back to work.
Yeah, that's true.
And not to mention the networks and the production companies. So we keep hearing soon. So
hopefully soon.
But to answer your question, no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really crazy. I've been online talking to people for months. So,
how do you like it?
Yeah, it's getting old. It's getting old. But I enjoyed it in the beginning. of doing this. But I'm a teacher, so I'm back at work full time, and so
what do you teach?
I teach TV film in a high school.
Is that right?
Yeah. So and we're full on going on. Well, it's half online, half in school. So I'm teaching online at the same time I'm teaching in the classroom. So it's nuts. So
I live here in the East Village, and I'm right by Tompkins Square Park. Mm-hmm. And every day, I walk through the park, and there are kids. There's so many kids shooting so many projects. They're really engaged.
Yeah. And I love it when they do well and then they move off and they go to film school. That's my favorite part of it all. when they leave me and go off and start having a career. Well, it's a good feeling.
Maybe somebody will mention you in their Academy Award speech sometime.
Yeah, one day, right? That'd be great. We'll see. Do you want to promote anything? Do you have anything out there that may be out online or anything that we could all watch?
Well, I have a documentary film that I made years ago called The New York Graffiti Experience, which is on a festival circuit, but it's not online. No, I'm not promoting anything except maybe the Point Lookout Film Festival,
right.
2020.
Right. Yeah.
And a guy walks into a bar.
Absolutely, that's great. And we'll let you know as soon as I know. I'll let you know all the information. You can follow us on Facebook and our website. We'll have to update it, and we'll be ready to go real soon.
Chris, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure speaking with you.
You too. Thanks so much. And I'll have this up in a few days.
Okay, yeah, let me know, will you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you an email right away. I'll be like, it's going up.
Okay, buddy. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. See you. All right, we're here with Charlie Hudson, and your film was High Street. And this is the Point Lookout Film Festival online series, I guess. This is not expected. We pushed it to November because we didn't expect this at all. We thought we're going to have this. But, it is what it is, I guess. What about about High Street? Were you able to see it in the theaters before all this? Did you play it in film festivals before all this happened? Or is it like you put it out and now it's all online? Or
Yeah. We started the festival run around this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we got into a few places, a lot in New Jersey, or a couple in New Jersey. So yeah, we got to see it in a theater.
That's good. That's good. At least you got that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of shut down. What, around like March?
Yeah, March is where it shut down. So it was, for us, we didn't really get a whole lot of chances to see it on a big screen, with the exception of Greenpoint Film Festival, which they pulled together to do a drive-in festival.
Oh,
so that was a really cool experience. So having all kinds of even though this whole crisis puts a stop to a lot of things, festivals find ways to adapt in interesting ways, and that includes online festivals because more of a chance for people to see the work.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the beginning, when we first at another fest I was involved with, we were nervous. We didn't know what to do, and then we put it together, and it came out really well. Then we realized 6,000 people just watch these movies.
Yeah.
So we're that's a big difference than having 40, 50 people watching it in a theater.
Absolutely.
So, but it did help. It did help that it was free online. So that was we just was I think we were trying to figure it out because other festivals were charging, and we're like, you know what? We're not even going to deal with it. We're just put it out.
Just get it out there and get as many people to see it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing here too, and this is kind of on the whim as well because we were expecting to have this in November. And you are allowed to go inside bars, but it was just not that many people we can fit. It's not the biggest place in the world, so we're like, we might as well just wait on that and do it. In our next one is already going to be in April anyway, so next year. So
is it online or are you still going to do it? And
we're hoping to do it. We're hoping I have another thing I do in March, so we're hoping that happens. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe a year later, right?
Yeah.
That's the hope, but I don't know. We'll see. But we are prepared to go online if we have to.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So where did you end up filming this film? Was it?
This was shot in my very own hometown of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
So I was very, very lucky to be able to film in the exact places that I had in mind while I was writing it. It's also interesting because kind of early on, I was planning to shoot it somewhere in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But I was in Phoenixville, and my cinematographer visited me, and we're driving through, and he was looking out the window, and he was like, we should shoot it here. We should absolutely shoot it here. And I was like, oh man, yeah, you're right. Yeah, let's do it. And we had to, it was a bit of a challenge, just some logistic wise.
Yeah.
Particularly lodging crew and such. But
that's what I was going to ask. I was just going to ask the crew is.
Yeah.
Did you bring people out there or did you have local crew?
No, we got people out there. Most of my crew were based in New Jersey, which is why we were thinking of shooting in New Jersey. But we pulled through. We got an Airbnb. We lodged a crew there, and after wrap, we had just a blast at the Airbnb all together. So it was a good time, and it was definitely the right decision.
I was just in Reading, and I'm from Jersey, but I was in Reading, and I went for a run, and I saw a beautiful place, and I was telling the other filmmakers, we were out there for a festival that was outside at a baseball field.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all socially distanced, and the films were on the jumbotron. But I'm running out there. I'm like, we got to film in Pennsylvania. So, like, yeah, we said the same thing. We got to get an Airbnb. We got to bring everyone out here.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to do it because there's such cool terrain out there.
Absolutely. And the towns are so like, you know, a lot of like red brick buildings and like revitalized kind of like industrial like towns and such. Yeah, we shot like not too far from Reading, so I'm sure it's like, you know, pretty similar.
And they're pushing it too. They're like, film here. They really want you to film there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and we're like, well, just a little short film there. They're like, I don't care. Film here. We'll give you this and this. We're like, maybe. So that's pretty cool that they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little different in New Jersey. No, but it's you know, they're giving tax incentives now here. So more people are coming to film here now. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So what about the acting process? How did you get your the actors?
We casted through primarily Backstage,
Mm-hmm.
backstage.com, and a few from breakdownexpress.com. And it was kind of the average casting process, you know, throw up the advertisement, people sign up, we do the auditions, we did a couple callbacks.
Yeah.
You know, it was very routine. But like it was, you know, very eye-opening and incredibly just incredibly lucky to have gone through that whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And then and the production went well. Did it take a long time to get it going or filming or
for pre-production?
Yeah, I guess the whole overall. But when you were filming with the Airbnb, I mean, how many days did that take? That
was all in all, that was 9 days.
Oh wow.
6 days and then 3 pickup days.
Oh wow.
So
it's not too bad, but it does take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was a lot going on, a lot longer film, right? So
yeah. Well, actually, our days were, there was maybe a couple of days that like went beyond like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we were actually lucky to have fairly easy days, or at least short days.
Yeah.
Because I definitely wanted to not exhaust my crew.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted definitely like 2 days for like the party scene in the film, 2 days for the scenes with Abby, the girlfriend character. I stressed that. I thought that was very important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what about the editing process? Did it take a while?
That took a while. Yeah. Because like we started getting jobs in the industry. We started getting more busy. So it was hard to find time to get around to edit. And not just edit, but also sound mix and color correction and that. It took a while. It was very slow, but we made it.
That happens a lot. And I mean, when we're making independent films, like we got it, we filmed it, now we put it aside, and then you got to do this and that, and it's like, when am I going to edit?
Yeah.
But
that's what they say. It's like you got to have. If you do a film, you got to be in it for the long haul. It's going to be in your life for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So do you have anything else? Did you film anything else after this? After this was done?
No. I worked on a few productions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my friends were doing their own films, so I worked on the crew for that.
Okay.
And then currently, I'm co-producing a documentary that is shooting later this year and into next year. So it's starting up again.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What did you do during all this break? Were you editing? Were you writing?
I was writing a lot. A couple of friends and I, or a few friends and I, got together and created like this writing group, and we would kind of like hold each other accountable for getting creative stuff done. So that was kind of early on. So we started the writing group, and I now have 2 scripts that I'm hoping to put into production very soon.
That's good. So hopefully things will start opening up. And have you started working on sets since this? I got a little thing on me. Were you working on sets lately at all? Not yet. Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Yesterday I had like just a job think I just returned a vehicle to JFK, you know, something like that. But it's slowly starting to open up, and you know, I think maybe next month or so, I'll get on more things and fill up my schedule.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. So, do you have anything else out there that you want to promote? Any websites, or have any other films online, or anything like that?
Not at the moment. It's just High Street right now.
Yeah.
At High Street Film on Instagram.
Cool.
That's it. That's all I have to promote.
All right, man. So we're gonna
find my Instagram through that Instagram.
You missed. We were at the theater the other day at a film festival. You got to go to the next one. I believe the next one's coming up.
I am. Supposedly it's November 13th, Friday the 13th right now.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. So I'm gonna
at the T-Nix Cinemas, the Jersey City pop-up.
And that's Crazy for the Blonde as well, right?
I entered, yeah.
Yeah, Crazy for the Blonde as well. Yeah, so that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see it back in the theater again.
Yes, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a Friday night, so I don't have to work the next day.
Sounds like
I always like those. I like those. I hate it when he puts them on Wednesdays. He puts it on a Wednesday. I gotta be working at 5 a.m.
Oh, that's right. You're working. That's your festival, right?
Yeah, I'm part of it. I'm part of it. Yes, I'm part of that. I don't even know what I'm part of anymore. I'm just like, okay, I'm part of that one, you know. So
yeah,
that's one of those. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
And
then Larry forgets. He's like, oh yeah, I'm part of this one too. It's me and Larry and this one too, and Stevie. It's all Stevie. This is all Stevie.
I actually forgot about Larry. That was his too. So you mentioned him.
Yeah.
I think it was the other day you mentioned him. I said, oh, that's right, Larry.
It's all three of us. It's really, it's really Stevie. It's really Stevie. I'm just a helper. I'm just a helper. It's Stevie and Larry.
Right.
And I am the assistant.
Yeah, Stevie does a good job.
Yeah, he does a good job. You got to update that website. That's
I haven't been on it.
It's my fault too, because he's like, I got to put the schedule up. You don't have the schedule. I'm like, that's right, I do have the schedule. But we're changing it now because it's not the schedule anymore because it's online. So we have to change that. And we never announced. He was like, putting the noms out. We don't announce the noms for this one. We surprise people.
Right. When is it again? November 7th?
So I was trying to figure that out, and the original date was, I think, the 5th, because that was that Wednesday. That was the original Be There date, and I think it's the 6th and the 7th. But I think we planned on doing it one day. I know Larry said the 6th and the 7th, but I think it's going to be. I haven't heard from him all day, so I was like, everyone's asking me. I'm like, I don't really know. I got to find out, but I think we're going to just do it on the 7th. And he said maybe we put together a student set real quickly. I got it together and stuff. So we might do that the night before, maybe, or just put it all together. I don't know.
That's cool.
So it's mostly like, films that some of the students that I know, we're like, oh, we have this opportunity. You might as well use it. Right.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, it's a great opportunity for students, film students. It wasn't like that when we were younger. I mean, that's great.
And there's not many right now. It's kind of tough to get into fest and to even film new ones. So to get their work out there again and something else is good for them.
Right. It keeps them going. Yeah.
Yeah. So and we're working on a lot of we're trying to work on stuff. It's not easy, but I keep me busy.
Yeah.
They keep me busy. So we'll see. I have my students are interviewing people like you right now. So maybe they can interview you one day and on this and we could show that.
Oh yeah, I would do that.
That'd be kind of fun. Talk about all the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you've seen a lot of their stuff too, so that'd be kind of cool.
I have. I like a lot of it. It's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great they get that opportunity.
Right now we're doing a lot of small things, nothing really big. So.
Well, I dropped my ear.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Okay.
So what else is going on?
Film wise?
Yeah. You got to start doing things soon, or are you working on things? I know you're writing stuff.
Yeah, I've been writing stuff. I've been entering screenplays mostly right now, shorts, and I am writing a feature as a writing sample. And I have a film that's still in post, I guess, with Tyrell Jason.
Oh yeah, that should be out soon, right?
Yeah, I think he's waiting for things to loosen up too, things to open up. Mm-hmm. It's called Bad Trip. I wrote it. I co-wrote it. I do have a producing credit on it too.
Cool.
which is nice. And it's a fun little movie. And then later in the summer, we're supposed to be doing a movie called Layers, which I wrote the script for, and Mark Clawberg's supposed to direct.
It comes up quickly.
It does. It's true, right?
Because I mean, we said I remember you saying next summer in the early summer. It's like a year away. It's not a year away anymore. It's months away.
It's crazy, right? I was thinking the same thing the other day. I said, well, it feels like it's soon. Yeah.
Before you know it, yeah. Because next time I thought it'll probably be like December. We'll be doing New Year's and be like, you're filming in like 2 months. That's it. Crazy. But that's the one thing about all this is going fast. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we'll have to start doing pre-production.
We start hearing Christmas music.
Yeah. CJ will be producing with us too.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll do a lot of so you got to start getting into it. Yes, pre-production. Got to start before you know it.
Yeah.
So
it'll be fun. It will be fun.
I'm excited. So anything else you want to promote out there? Can we see any of your stuff online?
Yeah, I mean, on YouTube, you can see, well, you can go to, I think it's Tom Bragg, my name. And I have some movies on there. A movie called Dogtown.
That's on.
Photo Kill is on Lance J. Reyes. The director of Photo Kill is Lance J. Reyes. It's on his YouTube.
What about the Bandit? The Bathing Bandit, is it still going in fest, or is it done? Is it going to be playing anywhere?
It is. I think it's actually still in festivals. The Bathing Bandit, and another one I did with Larry Rosen called Superstorm: A Love Story.
Oh, the feature,
which is a feature. It just got into some festival in England, which is supposed to be an actual live festival.
Oh, really? They're going to be
called Out of the Can, I believe it's called.
And they're going to be live because I know England shut down again. So that's
how recently? I don't know.
Oh no, I don't know how recent. Maybe a month ago or so they shut down. But
well, I don't know.
They had that second wave.
Yeah.
So
we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think things are looking better. Things are looking better and the up and up soon. So
yeah, we're prepared for it. So I think we'll do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me for a few minutes. I got a couple more of these to go, and
thank you, sir.
I will talk to you soon.
Okay, cool. See you. Thanks.
See you. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.